Hey, what's up everybody? Igor from the Better Life Academy here. And guys, today I want to unveil the formula which any one of us can use to solve any problem, any issue which will come up in your lifetime. I promise you, you will be amazed. Maybe you already know it. It's just, the good way to repeat it, because repetition is the mother of all the skills, right? And you want to create this kind of skill to solve any problems in your life. And if you have never heard of it, I'm sure you're going to love it. So stick with me and I'm going to explain you and I'm going to introduce and unveil this formula. Before that though, I want to talk about this word problem. And if you have followed me on the social media resources, you already know that I don't use this term as the problem. I actually replace it with something different, which brings me different meaning. If I think I have the problem somewhere, first thing what I do is I think of the place, or the situation where I have the opportunity, this is one of the key words, to actually improve and make something better. There's this bad or not good enough solution in the place of my problem, and I have now the opportunity to actually solve that problem by creating something new, creating a solution. And if you put this word this way, it gives you completely different meaning. And what meaning does? The meaning actually shifts your focus, and you start to actually focusing not on the problem itself, but on the solution, on the creation of the better something, right? And this is the message you can easily sell to anyone else. And anyone else, we would rather help you to create something better than to solve some kind of problem and go through the hustle, right? So one of the first things you should do is change the meaning for that word. This is not the magic formula this is just the introduction and kind of warming up before I unveil this formula. The second thing which you need to do, and this is part of the formula by the way already, the second thing which you need to do is to change your state. As soon as you have realized that you have the problem or issue, even if you try to get the different meaning to it, it still kind of affected you emotionally probably. And you maybe feel a little bit down, you maybe feel a little bit sad, you maybe feel a little bit scared, you maybe feel a little bit fearful. So to get rid of these negative emotions, which will be obstacles on your way of solving this problem and finding the better solution, what you should do is you have to shake yourself up a little bit. Just stand up, or if you're sitting, just start running if you're already going, and use your body, use your physiology to snap out of that state of negative emotion, which is related and connected to that problem you think you have, and just snap yourself out of it. Change this emotional condition of yours, emotional state of yours. You gotta be in a good state in order for that formula which I'm about to unveil to work. All right? So get this first. As soon as you got yourself and snap out of this, sadness or anger or fearfulness, you now have to ask yourself 6 questions. And those 6 questions is the formula, and they work like a charm. I recently had this huge, as I thought, problem a couple of days ago, and the problem got me scared. The problem got me fearful. The problem got in my head, and I could not concentrate on anything else. And I was down, and it was not a pleasant situation. Until I have remembered and started to implement that formula by asking myself those 6 questions. First thing what I did, I took myself out of that state of thinking and feeling helpless, and I put myself in a state I can do most anything in life and I can change it. And I put the different meaning into that word. I have to find the solution and I have to start working on it right now. And then I got to those 6 questions. And those 6 questions helped me to come up with with the awesome answers which fixed all the problem itself and focused me on the solution. And as soon as I've done it, all the fears were gone, all the anxieties were gone, and I became happy again and energized again, and I started tackling that problem. And by today, it's already solved, half solved. And I still gonna work on that. I'm still gonna proceed in that, but I know the positive things which can come out of it, and I will fix it for good. And this is so exciting and so awesome. So let's get to the formula itself. So as soon as you feel yourself that you have this problem, ask yourself 6 questions. The first question to ask yourself is, What great about it? Oops, my lights almost fell down because of the wind. I'm sorry about that, guys. So the first question to ask yourself, I repeat myself, is what great about this? And you might think, what the hell? What the question? Why do you need to ask this question to yourself? But think about it. Even the fact that you are so impressed and maybe at the same time confused about the question itself kind of proves that none of us ask this question as soon as we meet the problem. That means the question is rare. That means that not all of us ask this question. And that's why it makes this question work, because not a lot of us using it, therefore we don't know this formula. That's why it's magic and successful. So first question is, what great about it? And I'll give you an example. Once upon a time in my life, I've been involved in the business where I had another partner in this business, right? And at one point of the time, the partner decided to leave the company, leave the business, and just leave myself there in the business with the team. And I was so terrified, and I was so pissed and mad at him, and I was super angry, and I was thinking, oh my God, what's going to happen with the business now? I cannot handle it myself. I don't have enough investments or the money. Whatever reasons I would come up to with myself, why is that bad thing, right? And what I did then is, knowing this formula, what I did is I snapped myself out of that kind of thinking. I ran, I freaking danced, I turned on the music, and I snapped myself out of that negative state. That first thing what I did. And next thing what I did, and I got myself into the positive state, and I started to think, hey, this is the opportunity. Remember that, Igor. This is the opportunity. So ask myself the question is, what is great about that? And I started to think, well, actually, what great about that is that I finally gonna be on my own. I finally not gonna be considering someone's opinion. I finally not push myself into the decisions which I don't feel right about. That's what I was doing with my partner. I was not confident enough maybe sometimes to push on my calling, to push on my ideas, and the partner would take over, and I would not feel fulfillment, and I would not feel happy about doing business overall. But at the same time, I thought the partner is someone who I have to have there. That's why my first reaction was, oh my God, what happened? This is the end of the world. But as a result, I said, hey, what great about it is I'm on my own now. I can do things in the way I want to do them. I can actually realize and show myself and put everything into the business. And it got me excited. It got me freaking excited. So this is the first question you should ask yourself. The second question you should ask yourself is, what kind of opportunity you have right now? What are the opportunities because of the thing what happened? What it gives you. And then I started to think about the opportunities, what I can do myself now. I started to think of opportunities, maybe I can invite another partner into the business, and maybe that partner will share a lot more values with me, the same values I have, and we might be even more successful, right? And I should not actually kind of put down my opinions and be ashamed or afraid to actually express them in front of my partner, my new partner, potential partner, right? So I started to think what kind of opportunities I'm getting because of this change. Because change is usually scare us, but now the change can bring the additional opportunities. So this is the second question you should ask yourself. The third question you should ask yourself, what is not perfect yet? Just think about the question and the way it's asked. The way it's asked, it gives you and shows you that it's going to be perfect. It's going to be all good. This is also the magic of asking yourself the right questions, right? To get to the right answers. So the third question you ask yourself, what is not perfect yet? Well, what is not perfect yet is that I didn't find a partner yet, right? I didn't figure it out where am I getting the funding yet, and that piece and chunk of money the partner used to invest in this business, I should invest now. I didn't find the solution for that yet. And I started to think of all those things. But when you think of those things and you ask yourself this question in a way, what is not perfect yet, you give yourself the permission to actually believe that's gonna be perfect someday. And it gives you energy and motivation, and now you're open-minded to actually think of the solution and answers of all those questions, because those questions give you the opportunity to get to the better answers. How great is that? This is the third question you ask yourself. The fourth question you ask yourself is, what are you willing to do to make the things in the way you want them to be? What are you willing to do? And I started to answer myself, well, I'm willing to do anything. I'm willing to find the partner. I'm willing to find the funding. I'm willing to find the investments. I'm willing to find and build the better team. I'm willing to change the strategy of the company. I'm willing to change most anything to change all that. And again, it brought me a different kind of perspective and energy. And in these questions and in these statements, I actually found the solutions, and I found the roadmap for my business to thrive. All right? So that was the fourth question, and how powerful that question is. The fifth question is the opposite to the fourth one, meaning, what am I not willing to do for the things to happen in the way I want them to be? And you know what I was not willing to do? I was not willing to settle for someone who does not agree with and does not count in my opinion. I was not ready to settle to actually run the business in a way I cannot express myself. I cannot express my ideas, and I feel like I'm being pushed down, and my ideas and my calling is not being fulfilled in this kind of business. I am not ready to work in that kind of environment, and I'm not ready and I'm willing to create such an environment. So that question is very powerful for you to understand what are you not ready for. And that kind of problem you thought negative way about, now helping you to figure that thing out. Not only the solution, but also the things you will not and never do ahead of the time, further on, going further on this journey on yourself or with other partners. You're going to be a lot smarter. This question makes you smarter, right? And that was the fifth question. What is the sixth question? The sixth question is, how can I have a good time doing that and solving that problem and making this problem as an opportunity? Well, for that, I just started to think, hey, I can create even better team. I can get better strategy. I can start working in different niches, which I always wanted to do. I might as well just enjoy it. I might as well just learn new things, because my partner was covering the financial part of my business, let's say, right? And in this case right now, what I have the opportunity to learn something from the financial field, and this is opportunity to me. I feel great about it. So by fixing and finding the solution for that kind of problem that for my partner leaving the business, I actually find out myself to have fun in the process of fixing it and learning something new. So this is the sixth question. And that's it. This is what you need to do with yourself to flip the problem upside down and transform it into the opportunity. Have you felt that I did it with you right now, with this my condition, this situation that I have with my partner? Have you felt my energy? How was I talking about the business? And would you imagine the energy if I would just talk with you right now from the perspective of me being angry and sad and helpless and so disappointed in my partner? Would I come up with all those great ideas? Would I ask my questions with all those great ideas? Of course not. I will be stressed, I will be fearful, and I would just come up with the reasons why is that bad, and it would not help me at all. And this is the framework. I just gave you the opportunity to look at this framework from my kind of problem of losing the partner. But that problem which I had a couple of days before, it was something different. It was personal. It was related with my family. And it was completely different. It was not related to the business, but that framework also worked for that. Yeah, so to fix this my private kind of nature problem, which I thought I have and brought me to all those negative feelings, I first took myself out of that state. I kind of shook myself off. I rebounded on my rebounder of my indoor trampoline a lot until I sweat. I turned on the music, loud music, motivational music for me, inspirational music, and I put myself in the state to conquer the world and tackle that problem and find the opportunities and find the solution. The first thing what I did. And second thing, I asked myself those 6 questions. The first question I asked, what great about it? and I came up with answers. The second question I asked, how can I learn from it? What kind of opportunity it gives me? And I asked that question. The third question I asked myself, what is not perfect yet? It gave me the opportunity to come up with even better solutions and the better answers, and got me excited and energized. The fourth, what am I willing to do in order to make things happen in the way I want them to happen? And the answer was most anything. And as soon as I answered that, my mind opened up and I started to generate the solutions, what actually actionable items I can proceed with just to tackle that problem and solve it. The fifth one was, what am I not willing to do anymore in order for the good things happen to me and to solve that particular problem? And I came up with that and I learned. That's another way of how did I learn from that particular problem. And the sixth question I asked myself, how can I have fun? How can I feel pleasurable moments while actually finding the solution and solving that particular problem? And I answered that. And as soon as I've done that, by the time I've done with that, I don't feel any negative feelings. I don't have any sadness. I don't have any fearful kind of situation and condition within myself. I only feel the drive, the energy, the opportunity and excitement. And I actually just started to act on that. I just started to act on that because that kind of state put me into action and led me to take massive action. And within one day, I solved half of that problem. Half of that problem I solved it, and now I just have to improve upon it and make it even better than it was before. So guys, I'm very passionate and energized about that because I truly believe, and I went through that 100,000 times in my life, this is the way how you solve any problem and any obstacle which comes out on the way of the things you want to achieve or the way you want to improve some particular thing in your life. Take it, use it, and live the better life. Okay? And hopefully now you understand it, and now you have another tool in your belt of how to create the better life for yourself and increase the quality of your life with this magic formula of solving any problems which come up in your life. All right? Okay, it's enough out of me, Igor from the Better Life Academy. Thank you so much. Peace out.